Dobar dan i dobrodošli u Bhakti Yoga centar. I svi koji su online, također želimo vam dobrodošlicu. Danas ćemo imati predavanje na temu Bhagavad Gita iz 18. poglavlja, stihovi 64, 65 i 66. I ovdje ćemo ih pročitati. Prvo čitamo sanskrit, pa prijevod, pa komentar Šrila Prabhupada. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Sarva guyatamam bhuya. Shrinu me paramam vachaha, ishtosi me dridamiti, tato vakshyami te hitam. Budući da si moj veoma dragi prijatelj, prenijet ću ti najpovjerljivije znanje, moju najvišu uputu. Saslušaj me jer govorim za tvoje dobro. Smisao. Gospodin je prenio Arjuni povjerljivo znanje, znanje o apsolutu, Brahmanu i još povjerljivije znanje, znanje o nad duši u svačijem srcu, a sada mu prenosi najpovjerljiviji dio znanja, predaj se svevišnjoj božanskoj osobi. Na kraju 9. poglavlja rekao je man manaha, uvijek misli na mene. Ovdje ponavlja istu uputu kako bi naglasio bit učenja Bhagavad Gite. Tu bit ne može shvatiti običan čovjek, već onaj tko je veoma drag Krišni, Krišnin čisti bakta. To je najvažnija uputa svih vedskih spisa. Ono što Krišna kaže u vezi s tim najvažniji je dio znanja, koji treba slijediti ne samo Arjuna, već i sva živa bića. Ovdje u stihu vidimo, možemo reći, par preduvjeta za pravilno primanje znanja iz Bhagavad Gite i za prenošenje znanja iz Bhagavad Gite. Krišna kaže Arjuni, pošto si moj dragi prijatelj, prenijet ću ti ovo znanje. Na drugom mjestu kaže, pošto nisi zavidan na mene, prenijet ću ti ovo znanje. I kaže da je ovo njegova najviša uputa. Znači, 9. poglavlje se zove najpovjerljivije znanje. 9. poglavlje Bhagavad Gite. I riječ gujatamam znači najpovjerljivije od svega. Sarva gujatamam. Sarva znači sve od svega i gujatamam znači, guja zapravo znači tajna. Postoji riječ gupta isto. Znači ovdje objašnjava u komentaru Šrila Prabhupada da postoje 3 nivoa znanja, 3 nivoa spoznaje. Brahman, Paramatma i Bhagavan. I postoji stih u Šrimad Bhagavatamu koji govori o tome Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Šabdjate. Da postoji spoznaja Brahmana ili duha, duhovne prirode. Brahman se sastoji od zapravo živih bića. Brahman nije mrtav. Brahman se isto naziva apsolutnom istinom. Ali postoje 3 aspekta apsolutne istine: Brahman, Paramatma i Bhagavan. Prva spoznaja je da mi nismo ovo tijelo, to je spoznaja Brahmana. Druga spoznaja je spoznaja naduše u srcu. U svakom živom biću i u svakom atomu nalazi se naduša. U jednom drugom vedskom spisu koji se zove Brahma Samhita rečeno je Andantara sta paramanu čajantara stam. Naduša se nalazi u svakom atomu i u srcu svakog živog bića. U ovoj kreaciji, ne samo u ovoj kreaciji, nego u svim univerzumima sve je živo. Sve je živo i život prožima sve. Sarva gata, duše su svuda, u zraku, u vodi, u vatri, u srcima, u tijelima koje vidimo, u vidljivim tijelima također postoje žive duše, živa bića. I tako, nadduša, šta je nadduša? Spoznaja paramatme ili nadduše, šta je nadduša? Nadduša je ekspanzija Boga u srcima živih bića i Bog se manifestira u srcima svih živih bića da bi vodio živa bića. Da bi vodio živa bića kroz njihovo putovanje kroz materijalni svijet. Mi smo sada kao na nekom putovanju kroz različita tijela u materijalnom svijetu i da bi imali inteligenciju kako da se odnosimo prema svijetu i kako da ostvarimo svoje želje, nadduša nas prati kao, možemo reći, povjerljivi prijatelj ili dobar prijatelj. I od njega dolaze 3 stvari. Matak smritir gyanam apohanam ča. Smritir gyanam apohanam. Smritir znači sjećanje, gyanam znači znanje i apohanam znači zaborav. Sad naravno postoji izvanjski izvor znanja kao što su knjige, ali postoji i unutarnji izvor znanja. Na dušu nekada percipiramo kao savjest, kao nešto što nam pomaže, neka viša inteligencija koja nam pomaže da razlikujemo što je ispravno, a što nije ispravno, što treba činiti, a što ne treba činiti, što će donijeti povoljne posljedice, a što će donijeti nepovoljne posljedice. To je spoznaja paramatme koja se ovdje spominje i sljedeća spoznaja je spoznaja Bhagavana ili svevišnje božanske osobe. O predaji koja se spominje ovdje govorit ćemo, sljedeći stih govori o predaji. Pardon, ne sljedeći nego 66. Naredna 2 stiha su među najpoznatijim stihovima Bhagavad Gita i najviše citiranim stihovima. Bhagavan, što znači Bhagavan? Bhaga, van, Bhaga znači bogatstvo, van znači onaj koji posjeduje. Mi imamo u našem jeziku riječ Bog i imamo riječ bogat u hrvatskom. Bog je bogat. Bhagavan znači onaj koji posjeduje sva obilja. Onaj koji posjeduje sva obilja, koji posjeduje 6 glavnih obilja. I svaki sljedeći nivo sadrži prethodni nivo, ali prethodni nivo ne sadrži sljedeći nivo spoznaje. Tako, spoznaja Brahmana je spoznaja naše duhovne prirode, spoznaja duha, da postoji duh svuda i da sve prožima. Spoznaja paramatme sadrži spoznaju Brahmana, ali i spoznaju na dušu u srcu, a spoznaja Bhagavana sadrži prethodne 2, znači Brahman i paramatma spoznaju i također sadrži spoznaju svevišnje božanske osobe, apsolutne istine koja je osoba. Neki ljudi kažu da je apsolutna istina energija, da je svjetlost, ali vedska literatura to ne podržava. Bhagavad Gita to ne podržava. Zašto bi izvor svega, apsolutna istina, imala jednu osobinu manje od nas, a to je oblik i osobnost? Apsolutna istina ima osobnost i apsolutna istina je osoba. I u Bhagavad Giti se iznova na personalan način ponavlja da je Bog svemogući, da je Bog izvor svega. Ali Bog je isto izvor svih živih bića, također mi smo djelići Boga. Božanski djelići ili djelići i čestice Boga, duhovne čestice, duhovni djelići Boga. I prema tome mi posjedujemo karakteristike koje su slične njemu, ali u manjoj mjeri, ne u apsolutnoj 100% mjeri. Ovdje se spominju par veoma fundamentalnih stvari kao što je čisti bakta. Što je čisti bakta? Čisti bakta možemo reći je savršenstvo egzistencije bilo kog živog bića. Dostići taj nivo. I zapravo ovaj proces bhakti joge vodi ka tome da svi mi probudimo našu uspavanu prirodu koja je izvorno čista i koja je izvorno duhovna. I ovaj proces prakticiranja transcendentalnog zvuka kroz mantre, kao što je Hare Krishna Mahamantra i svaki stih Bhagavad Gita je mantra, taj transcendentalni zvuk budi našu uspavanu duhovnu prirodu. Danas, evo, možemo vidjeti, ljudi se zanimaju za toliko puno stvari. Ovdje u Zagrebu ljudi dolaze iz svih krajeva svijeta da nađu neko zadovoljstvo. Ovo je lijepa zemlja i da mogu možda ići na more i obilaziti prirodne ljepote. Ali ako možda, da kažemo, intervjuiramo ljude, pitamo ih da li vam nešto fali u životu? Imate neko ko ima sve, recimo. Neko ko ima sve. Nema puno takvih ljudi, ali recimo, i onda možemo vidjeti da čak i jako bogati i poznati ljudi nisu sretni. Postoji neka praznina u njima. Nešto im fali. I ono što fali u ovom svijetu, iako postoji religija, iako postoji yoga, a iako postoje razne, da kažemo, filozofije u vrlini, gdje se govori o tome da čovjek treba biti dobar, da čovjek treba brinuti o sebi, brinuti o drugima, ne postoji cjelovito znanje koje opisuje svrhu naše egzistencije i koje nam pomaže da krenemo putem samospoznaje čemu i služi ovaj ljudski oblik života. I to je upravo ona praznina, da tako kažemo, koju popunjava Bhagavad Gita ili karika koja nedostaje. Karika koja nedostaje. Da li vi razumete hrvatski? Do you understand Croatian? Oh, okay. Da li vi razumete engleski? Da? Isto, aha. Then I can switch to English, maybe.
As long as it's not an inconvenience to everyone else.
Excuse me?
As long as it's not an inconvenience to everyone else.
It's not inconvenient. I give classes in English. But I think I would need the English Bhagavad Gita now. It's here. So for our online viewers, at the moment there is nobody. It will not be inconvenient to listen in English. Maybe later if they listen to the recording. Now we are going to move to the next verse, verse 65 of the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And this is one of the most important verses. Basically, this is the only verse, actually 3 lines of this verse are repeated 2 times. The only 3 lines that are repeated 2 times in the Bhagavad Gita, at the end of the 9th chapter, and here at 65th verse in the 18th chapter, and at the end of the 9th chapter. Okay, so I will now read Sanskrit of the next verse. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mame vaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. Always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Purport. The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official meditator. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that all his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. This most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is the dear friend of Krishna. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Krishna and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna. These words stress that one should concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish boy with a beautiful face and peacock feathers in his hair. There are descriptions of Krishna found in the Brahma Samhita and other literatures. One should fix his mind on this original form of Godhead, Krishna. He should not even divert his attention to other forms of the Lord. The Lord has multi-forms as Vishnu, Narayan, Rama, Varaha, etc. But the devotee should concentrate his mind on the form that was present before Arjuna. Concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge, and this is disclosed to Arjuna because Arjuna is the most dear friend of Krishna's. So I'm not sure if we will cover the next source, maybe if we have time, but I will speak about this verse now. So now, after Krishna has explained different yogas, explained how the universe works, explained his universal form, explained how to act in higher consciousness, so many things he has explained. Dhyana Yoga in 6th chapter, 4th chapter is transcendental knowledge, then knowledge of the Absolute in the 7th chapter. After Krishna has explained so many things, now he is coming to the final chapter, 18th chapter, which is also type of a summary of the whole Bhagavad Gita. 2nd chapter is also, you may say, summary of the whole book. And so he is just saying, think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage or obeisances to me, and thus you will come to me. So Vedic literature describes that we don't belong to this world. We belong to the spiritual world, and that we have left. How is your English? Good? Good. Yes. That we have left. Are you from here? Mm-hmm. Okay. We have left actually our eternal home in the spiritual world and left the association of God, and we have come to this world to enjoy separately from Him. And this is why we are struggling and getting born again and again in this world. This is called reincarnation. But we are not always born in the human form. Vedic literature says that we go through 8,400,000 species of life. this may sound scary, and you may be shocked that once you were a tree, once you were an insect, once you were a bird or a lion or a cow or a monkey. Why I mention these three animals? Because in the Vedic literature it says that the man who is in the mode of ignorance, in previous life he was a monkey. I mean, he was in the body of the monkey. The man who is in the mode of passion, in previous life he was in the body of a lion. And the man who is in the mode of goodness, in past life in previous life he was a cow. He was in the body of a cow. So this is described in the Vedic literature. So here we have this, especially second paragraph, very interesting. It says that God is a boy. So we have some understanding of God as an old man, because he's a creator. He has been around for a long time, so he must be old. But why should God be old? It says that God is a 16-year-old boy. So how can 16-year-old boy be so powerful? Why not? He can be more powerful than an old man. Old man doesn't have to be so powerful. That his form is, it is said that the man is created in the image of God, and so God has two hands, we have two hands, but there is also forms of God that have more than two hands. They have four hands or more hands. So there is a wonderful verse that describes that God can expand in many forms. He can expand in many forms. He doesn't appear only in human-like forms, but also he can appear as a bird or as a fish and many other forms. I have studied many books on religion, on philosophy, on science also, and I have not found such a comprehensive description of reality, of the purpose of life, why we are here, and what we are supposed to do with this life that is given to us. And Bhagavad Gita is basically a warm-up for a huge study of Vedic literature. And even Bhagavad Gita has 800, 900 pages, and people say, I don't understand almost anything from here. And so if we want to understand this book, how can we come to understand this book? For this, expert teachers, expert educators have written introductory books, small books. And they are full of quotes from this book, but things are explained even in a more simple way. And this is how I came to this process of Bhakti Yoga, when I read the book called The Science of Self-Realization, which was full of quotes from the Bhagavad Gita, but through stories, interviews, essays, articles, there is simple description what it is all about. And of course, this book speaks also about yoga, about religion, about God, about incarnations of God, about meditation, about spiritual upliftment, about enlightenment, and all these terms that we can hear in different spiritual circles or yoga circles. So, it is described that we are like a son of a rich man who has left his father to try to find his luck on his own and wander around the world and try to find his way in his best life. And sometimes father tries to call, nowadays with mobile phones it's easy to call your son or daughter, but sometimes fathers try to call his son back and say, why are you bothering yourself to live in such a difficult way and struggle financially, struggle emotionally? Why don't you come back home and live a nice life? So similarly, God is also inviting us to come back to Him and live in our original position. But most of us don't even understand or accept that this might be possible, this explanation that it might be true. But if we give ourselves a chance and say, but maybe this is true that I don't belong here, and maybe this is true that I have my eternal Father who cares about me, then we can start to explore, start to learn, start to try to understand these signs. This is not a sentimental religious doctrine. This is actually a science. It's a scientific knowledge, and one can actually test it by practicing. One can actually understand that this is pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam, that through realization you can understand all these truths. In the beginning, the understanding is theoretical, but as we practice the process, especially chanting the mantras, then we can understand more deeply all this knowledge. So once one disciple of our teacher, Srila Prabhupada, asked him, Srila Prabhupada, you have done so much for us, what can we do for you in return? And he was in a very advanced age when he came to the West. He came when he was 69 years old, and he left in 77 when he was around 80 years old. So he said, you can do something that I cannot do. You can go in the future and tell people that God loves them. But this is the main message, actually. Even throughout the Bhagavad Gita, if you look closely, the main message is that God is interested in us. Maybe sometimes you have heard that some girl or boy is interested in you. And maybe you got some message or a letter from them, or a friend told you, you know, this person likes you, they have seen you, or maybe they have heard you, and he or she is interested in you. And then you become curious, oh, who is this person, why they are interested in me, what they see in me, and things like that. So similarly, God is interested in us because we are His eternal children, and He wants us to try to go back to Him. But He doesn't want to force us to go back to Him. We are trying to find luck in this world, in romantic relationships. Most people have the same dream, to find the perfect partner. But everything that we see in this world is a replica or a copy of something that is existing on the absolute platform, on the spiritual platform, existing in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is everything, but everything is in relation to God. Everything is in relation to God. So at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is inviting us, and you may say, how can someone be so arrogant to make such a statement? Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage or obeisances to me. Now, of course, Krishna is saying this to Arjuna, to the warrior. Here is the picture. Krishna is even serving his devotee by being a chariot driver. So, Krishna is saying this after he has explained who is he, what is our relationship with him, and what he is offering to us. But in one of the previous verses, verse 63, Krishna says, Iti te jnana makyatam, now I have revealed to you this knowledge, and you do what you want to do. He's not forcing us. He doesn't want to force anyone. Love cannot be forced. Love is always voluntary. And on the spiritual platform, in relation to God, love is also voluntary. So now, if we say, that yes, you can have a relationship with God, and this is what you are missing. Like George Harrison had a great realization about spiritual life and about God. Krishna is one of the names of God and means all attractive. You can call Krishna God, but it's the same Supreme Person who is the source of everything, who is the well-wisher of everyone, who is almighty, full of knowledge and bliss. And he is offering us to join his party, in a sense. Now we are trying to party in this world, especially in the summer, but somehow we are not finding luck. Somehow, even if we have the best room in the best hotel and we attend many parties, somehow something is missing. Many people feel that something is missing. And if we understand Vedic literature, we can understand what is missing in our lives and why we are not happy in this world. This world is described as Dukkalayam Shashvatam, temporary place full of misery. So why there is misery in this world? Why there is suffering in this world? One of the purposes of this situation is to induce us to start thinking deeply why we are here and where we are going and where we have come from. And this is the whole theme of the Vedic literature. It is explaining to us why we are here and what we can do if we want to do, to embark on the path of self-realization and reviving our lost or forgotten relationship with God. I will just read the next verse, which is also one of the most famous verses of the Gita. Sarva dharmam parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Now, this is one of the most quoted verses in the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, who has given us this Vedic knowledge in its original way, not in some distorted way. Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. So, surrendering to God is the supreme religion. And then, he gives two more promises. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction and do not fear. So one of the states of mind of most living entities is fear in this world. Even of most humans is fear. This manifests, fear manifests, especially when there is some danger. And but fear is not a natural state of the soul. Natural state of the soul is described as Sat Chit Ananda, eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. This is our original state. And this Vedic literature also describes the glory of the soul. Describes the glory of the soul. It describes the glory of God, but also the glory of the soul. So every son of God or daughter of God, they are also glorious, and they can become glorious if they connect with God again. It is said that living entity is like a ring, and God is like a diamond, and combination is beautiful. Combination is beautiful. So if we connect to God, then our natural glory manifests. Our spiritual beauty, the beauty of our soul manifests also. At the moment we may have very nice form, we can be nice looking, but this form will deteriorate. We will get older and older, and ultimately we will have to leave this body. But when one engages in spiritual life, then the beauty of his or her soul starts to manifest, and he can feel his spiritual power. So Krishna is now saying, take me as a teacher, take me as a guide, surrender unto me. Forget everything, all kinds of mundane, I would say, mundane ways of trying to improve life and mundane religions in one sense. What would be a mundane religion? It's a materially motivated religion. In many religions there is a prayer, God give me this and give me that. And as far as I have seen in this religion, the main prayer is, my dear Lord, please accept my offering. God is seen as order supplier in many religions. But in this religion, God is seen as a receiver of loving offering of his devotees. Loving offering of his devotees. So if we become so fortunate to believe that God is our well-wisher, which he also mentions in other parts of the Bhagavad Gita, then we may start to become curious about what he says. If you hear that somebody is your well-wisher, that somebody is interested in you, then naturally we become curious what this person say and what this person advise us, what he wants to say, how he wants to guide us, how he wants to help us, offering his hand, offering his help. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say for today, and now we can start a discussion or questions if you have about these topics or any other topic related to whatever you have heard here so far in classes that other devotees are giving. So please, if you're welcome to ask questions or make comments.
You mentioned there were 6 attributes of God. Can you name them what you were thinking about?
Aishvaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashrasa shriya. He possesses all opulence, all strength, all knowledge, all renunciation, all beauty, and one more, all glory, all fame, these 6. So these are main opulences of God. And we can see people who are famous in this world, who are successful, they possess some of them, or one of them or 2 of them, or maybe all of them, but in a smaller quantity. And God possesses these qualities in full quantity, or in perfect quantity, 100%, more we can say. We can see here different forms of God also. And there is a feminine part of God, Srimati Radharani, Radhika. She is also here on the altar. And we worship Radha Krishna, not only Krishna, but Radha and Krishna, divine couple. We worship divine couple.
Can you explain the difference between Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan?
Mm-hmm. Brahman is all-pervading spirit, which is everywhere. Sarvagata means all-pervading, and consists of actually of living souls. This is, we can say, the third aspect of the Absolute, or of God, of the Supreme Absolute, of the Supreme. Then Paramatma is a localized manifestation of God, which enters into every atom in the material world and heart of every living entity. And Paramatma has a form. It has 4 hands. It's a human form. And Paramatma is giving us intelligence, how to fulfill our own material pursuits, material desires. So Paramatma, or Super Soul is in our heart. And sometimes we get maybe wonderful idea which comes from Paramatma, or inspiration, or we have this conscience, sadist conscience, where we discriminate what is right and what is wrong. This comes also from Paramatma. So we have in our heart inner guide, and sometimes people say this is guardian angel, or this is internal guide, inner guide, different, they or sometimes super conscious mind. There is different name for the same person. So Paramatma is expansion of God, and Bhagavan is the supreme form of God, which who is the source of Brahman and of Paramatma. And this is actually a 16-year-old boy, Krishna.
So is Paramatma a localized Brahman or not?
Paramatma is a localized form of God. You can say that he also localized Brahman, but it's a...
Is Brahman God?
Excuse me?
Is Brahman God?
Yes. Supreme Brahman is actually Bhagavan. Bhagavan is Supreme Brahman. So, you can hear in some teachings about Brahman, but they don't exactly explain so clearly like Srimad Bhagavatam explains. Here we also have Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like a postgraduate study of spiritual science. And when one realizes Bhagavan through devotional service, through process of chanting the names of God, engaging in devotional service, hearing about God, then he also automatically realizes Paramatma and Brahman. So there is no need to separately work on these realizations of Brahman and Paramatma. And some spiritualists, they go, because they're not ready, they're still not ready to develop their relationship or awaken their dormant relationship with God, then they practice spirituality through trying to realize Brahman and Paramatma also. Yogis try to actually realize Paramatma. Patanjali's yoga describes this realization of the super soul in the heart. But sometimes yogis make a mistake. They start to think that I am that Paramatma, I am God. And this is where they fall down. And when you realize that you are a spirit, this is Brahman realization, but then you need to understand what are you supposed to do as a spirit. What are the activities of the spirit? And this is described in the Bhagavad Gita. We engage in spiritual activities in relationship to God. In loving relationship with God. Something like that. Yes?
Can we learn how to differentiate which thoughts or ideas come from us and which ones come from the Paramatma?
Wonderful question. So the question was how to differentiate which ideas or thoughts come from us and which come from Paramatma. This is where spiritual knowledge helps, because by hearing spiritual knowledge we learn what is what, and we learn how to recognize the quality of our thoughts and the quality of our ideas. Now, the thoughts that come from the super soul are usually auspicious for us, something that is helpful for us. But sometimes the super soul can give us also intelligence how to do things that are not spiritual if we have a desire. So the super soul is assisting us according to our desires. But if we want spiritual life, then the super soul can guide us perfectly. But if we are not especially in the beginning, if we are not sure who is speaking, we can always consult the Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures and see if I'm thinking in line with this knowledge given from God. So the checking point is the scriptures. And also it is said, Sadhu, Shastra, Guru Vakya, Chitete Korya Aikya. 3 checking point: Sadhu, saintly personalities, devotees; Shastra, scriptures; and Guru, spiritual master. We check with 3 of them. Is what I'm thinking or doing right? Am I on the right track? But we always have guidance. In life we always have guidance, whether we like it or not. Now, at the moment, people are accepting guidance of the scientists, of the politicians, of the mundane philosophers. There are so many people who are trying to help us, but most of them, they don't have complete knowledge. And complete knowledge can come only from the creator of this world, and that's God. And He gives complete knowledge through scriptures like Bhagavad Gita. You may go to libraries. I was in the British Library in London. This is huge library, and there are so many. I mean, you can study so many things, but Vedas are huge. And Vedas that we have on this planet even are actually, we can say, small in comparison to the Vedas on other planets. So this knowledge is huge. It's vast. Knowledge of God and knowledge of self-realization is huge. Okay? Yes?
You said that you came to these scriptures through science, or?
I said that this is scientific knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean? You can check whether it works. So the process that is given here, you can practice this process. You can start chanting and see if it helps you, change your consciousness, or if it helps you to understand better the scriptures, if it helps you to become a better person, if it helps you to behave better. Basically, this spiritual process puts us into goodness, into mode of goodness, and helps us to get out of the ignorance and passion, which are also energies that govern this world. These are also God's energies, but they are meant to keep us in a conditioned state if we want to stay in the conditioned state. So now we have a scientific department called Bhaktivedanta Institute. And if you are interested in science, then you can see how scientists describe spiritual truths and spiritual knowledge. And if you Google Bhaktivedanta Institute, then you will access their website, see what books maybe you can order. And there is one magazine called Origins, which is also, I think, available in a digital form. And then this is, I would say, introductory scientific magazine about spiritual science. If you like, somehow, if you give me your contact or contact me, then I can find it and copy it and send the text of this Origins magazine. I read it. It's very nicely written by people who are devotees, but they're also scientists.
I asked that question because there is a group of people that are denying science, and there is a group of people that are denying spirituality.
Uh-huh.
But usually Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein said that these two, science and spirituality, should not be separate, should be combined. So science should be helping people how to spirituality put in the practical life.
Yes,
And
exactly.
Spirituality should be helping science to get more answers how to do some things in life.
To do more what?
How to discover those truths more and more
In a scientific way.
in a scientific
Mhm.
way. Yeah.
Yeah. You put it very nicely. You can describe it very nicely. There is actually a huge symposium on the synthesis of science and religion, where many scientists and religionists are speaking. There is a whole book published with the talks, transcriptions of the talks of these people, both scientists and religionists, different priests and monks and spiritual people, also yogis. Now, I think people are maybe looking for some integration of knowledge, and in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada says that this book actually integrates. Like Krishna says here, give up all differentiations that, this is my religion, my country, this, no, surrender unto me and see the unity of all living beings. We are all actually spiritual beings, and we are all brothers and sisters, and we should not fight. But we come to this world to fight for supremacy and then get in trouble because there is so many aspiring gods.
Like babies.
Huh?
Like many babies in this world.
You mean like children?
Children. Yeah.
Fighting, yeah. Yes. The people are mostly like children. But in the spiritual world also there is children. And maybe you're a child in the spiritual world. Maybe you're a boy or a girl. But your body in the spiritual world will not get old. We still, at the moment, we also have a spiritual body, but now, because we wanted to accept false identity with a certain material body, now this form, our spiritual form, is in the seed-like form. It's like it's shrinked, and now it's waiting for it to expand again. And then, if you, through spiritual practice, if you expand your spiritual body, then you will not depend anymore whether you will leave this body or not, because this is the temporary manifestation of you at the moment, of your conditioning basically.
And you can extend your spiritual body through this knowledge.
Through practicing the process of self-realization and God realization. It's interesting. And now, if somebody is really like inimical towards God, these verses actually indicate this, that Krishna, 2 times he says, because you are my friend, because you are friendly, I can reveal to you many secrets of this mystery. But if somebody is envious of God, he cannot understand God. He will always find some excuse to avoid God. And unfortunately, most conditioned souls in the material world try to avoid God in one way or the other. Stubbornly. And again, there is no force. It's up to us. We can always choose what we want to do with our existence. But there is unity of all living beings, and that's a perception in the mode of goodness, unity. And some people try this, but some people try to divide and then rule. Divide people, then rule. Creating parties, getting people to get against each other. It's manipulation. Real, true spiritual people, they try to unite with others and see the common interest, common ground, common qualities, and we are all spirit souls. Therefore, we also don't kill animals, because animals are also living beings. And because we have a human form, we don't have a right to torture other living beings just for eating. Okay, any other question or comment from all of you? some of you. Are you all coming regularly here or sometimes?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, once a week.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So can you share with me what you have learned so far?
The whole Bhagavad Gita.
Wow. So we are now at the end. But okay, but can you share with me what is the best thing you have learned?
Was this the last verse in the last chapter, or there are more verses?
Last verse? In the last
Was this
chapter?
the last verse?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Can you I give you the Bhagavad Gita and then can you read that verse?
No, I asked you, was that what you just read? Was it the last verse? Or,
In the
or
last chapter.
yeah, or there is more?
You can read it, please. Please read it. It's verse 78. You can read it aloud.
That was the last one.
Yeah.
Should I read it in Croatian? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Gdje god je prisutan Krišna, gospodar svih mistika i Arjuna, vrhunski strelac, tu je prisutno obilje, pobjeda, izuzetna moć i čudoredost. To je moje mišljenje.
So I have not heard any more motivational verse than this one. I have read so many motivational books, self-help books. So where God is present and his devotee, Arjuna, then there will be morality. What does it say? Čudoređe, morality?
Čudoredost. Čudoređe, da.
Opulence, what else?
Sve, malo. Obilje, pobjeda, izuzetna moć i čudoredost.
Exceptional power and victory, yeah, and morality. So if anybody wants to be a winner, here is a chance to learn the Bhagavad Gita. And you have learned the Bhagavad Gita. You have learned the whole Bhagavad Gita. And can any one of you share maybe a verse that inspired you the most from the Gita that you have learned here?
U drugom poglavlju je. Da. Mislim, ovo je jedan od njih.
Mm-hmm.
Ta osobna duša ne može se slomiti, rastopiti, spaliti ili sušiti. Vječna je svuda prisutna, nepromjenjiva, nepokretna i vječno ista. To je jedan od stihova koji mi je se uvezao, sad sam baš otvorio na njega.
So can you imagine you're eternal, you're unbreakable, nobody can burn you. Your body can be burned, but the soul cannot be burned. Nobody, the wind cannot blow you away, and it's amazing. Divine particle is very powerful because it's a particle of God. So we are now maybe some yogis or some spiritual teachers will tell you you can become God, but that's not true. We cannot become God. That position is already taken. We can join God in his activities, in his pastimes. We can join him.
It is written that it's unchangeable.
Unchangeable. Yes,
Yeah.
always the same.
Yeah, but how is that we can change?
We can change our consciousness. Unchangeable is our spiritual nature. It's always the same. But we can change our consciousness because of identifying with our body, we are in material consciousness.
Mm-hmm. So this
Unchangeable?
this unchangeable in our language maybe could be better words. we are not changing, but we are discovering who we are. Can we say it like that?
Exactly. Very, very intelligent
Yeah,
observation.
we-
Yes, we are not. We are actually rediscovering our original nature.
Uh-huh.
We are on a
this
journey.
process is calling changing ourselves. Can we say it like this? Through this path of discovering our true nature, this path we can say that we are changing.
Yes, yeah, we are changing our consciousness.
Yeah.
We are changing our consciousness. We don't have any more bodily consciousness that identifying with the body, but we start to identify with our original identity, and that's that we are eternal soul. So now Krishna says, do not fear, and in the second chapter Krishna says, you are not this body, so what shall you fear? Because you cannot be killed. You cannot leave the body, but you cannot be killed. And you have heard about books about afterlife experiences of people. Have heard? People describe, there is one book called Journey of Souls, and how many people had experience of leaving the body, and they have similar experiences. Some people see a tunnel and then at the end the light. Some people had experiences going to some kind of a court where they are judged in some way. Similar experience people had who left their body and came back. So now there is so much knowledge in this world that it's a shame to be stupid. Practically you cannot be stupid anymore. Because like you have these reels which give you just small, flicks of wisdom, and you see, wow, you see this and you see that, and advice for relationships and so many things. We are maybe bombarded with different kinds of nonsense, but we are also bombarded with wisdom, isn't it? And people are becoming more and more intelligent. But still, have you seen the cartoon? A wolf is standing in front of people and saying, I forgot, it was amazing cartoon. It says, if you elect me, I will stop eating sheep.
I think he was standing in front of a group of sheep.
Yes.
There were like people, and he said, if you elect me, I will, something like that.
I will become a vegetarian.
Something
Yes.
like that.
I will
Or
become
I will ban eating sheep.
I think he said he will become a vegetarian, which means stop eating sheep. So although there is so much knowledge and so many intelligent people, also there is many people who will follow some politician who is just a marionette or like a puppet. And but I say there is so much knowledge available all the time that it's a shame to be stupid. And if you want to learn about anything nowadays, now you have Chat GPT, amazing intelligence. And I know that this comes also from God. This intelligence, it doesn't come from a machine. They have taken so much knowledge and so many books, and in half a minute you get such an intelligent, wise, comprehensive, mature answer about any question. And now the question is, what do we do with that? What do we do with artificial intelligence? How we use it or misuse it? And Bhagavad Gita is giving us guidelines how not to misuse this human form of life and everything that God has given, including artificial intelligence. Yes. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So it's interesting. we are on a journey now. We are exploring, we are curious, we want to see what happens, where we will go, where we have come from. We're getting different information. Some people we come from nothing, some people say we come from something. Srila Prabhupada says life comes from life. It cannot come from dead matter. And now, according to how much one is developed, then he can accept this or that as an explanation of the world. Like, for many people, a Big Bang doesn't make sense. It's just, like random Big Bang, and then creation starts to move and everything without creator. But I think globally people are getting more intelligent. But still, people who want to manipulate are in charge. And we have to see what can be done. There is saying, the evil can win only if good people do nothing. Isn't it? So, and the phenomena that we see in this world, that evil people are better organized and more united than good people. Good people are confused, maybe fighting who is right. But evil people, they're not. Okay, they also sometimes fight, but they're more united, better organized, more united.
They know what their mission is.
Yes, they know what is their mission, and I think their mission is that minority controls the majority, isn't
Very
it?
straightforward.
Yeah. And then even laugh to our face. They say, "You see what we have for you? We have a package, artificial intelligence, robots." We will take away your freedom, we will take away your cash also. I went to one, when you go to this European square, Consum there doesn't accept cash anymore.
Oh yeah, that's the first one.
Mm. So I thought it's starting.
There's no workers.
Even in the automatic.
Everything is automatic there. It's a test. Sort of a test they're trying.
But there is no security.
There is cameras,
There is
but
maybe 100 cameras.
everything's smart controlled and it's.
But if they steal something, how they will catch them? If somebody steals something.
Probably face recognition.
You need identity cards to go into this store.
Ah,
Because there is constant
I see.
application.
Oh, okay.
No, you first have to download the quantum application on your phone, and then you have to put your picture of your identity card.
Oh, you cannot buy without it. Huh?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So you're already arrested.
It's changing your identity for a new.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
For sneakers bar.
Okay, so let us stop here. Thank you very much for coming. I hope this was useful for you. Let us stop here and see if we can see Adhika Mataji maybe and say hello to her. And you know Adhika Mataji, Adhika, huh? And maybe see you on Thursday again. I heard that I also should speak on Thursday, and then I will probably choose something else, some other topic, and maybe it will be more like a seminar, but we will see. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.